Well, welcome back. Another day working on my C cab. We're going to continue where we left off. I believe it was episode 41. We're putting the engine back together. And today what we're going to do is put the pistons in. I got them cleaned up this morning. I didn't film any of that. I went ahead and mic'd the crank. They're all the same. Apparently, whoever had the engine before had it rebuilt recently. You can see here, even on the piston, I don't know if you get close, you can see there's no scratches hardly on the skirt. It was barely even run. So it was bored 40 over, so the cylinders look good. And also you can see here, the crank looks really good. No scratches, a little discolored there, but everything looks fine. So according to my book here, next thing they recommend is clocking the rings, the piston rings. So what we'll do is set the first ring and then turn the next one 120 degrees, and then the oil ring at the bottom, offset it another 120 degrees so that the rings are all offset so it'll seal better. And it also recommended that we put in the number 1 and the number 6 first, while the crank is in this position, and then we'll go ahead and put the 2 and the 5 in. I'll turn the crank, and then last we'll bring these 2 up top, and I'll do these 2 last. Let me see if I get the engine spun over with the facing upright, and we'll get started. Well, we got all the pistons in. I didn't film the whole thing. It actually took me a couple hours. I videoed most of it, but I'm not going to include the 3 hour, bore you with a 3 hour video of me trying to put these pistons in. The next thing we're going to do this morning is torque them down. It's the only thing I got left. The book says they get torqued down to 45 foot-pounds, so I'll probably do it in 2 steps, maybe like 20 pounds, and then we'll go back and hit them with 45 pounds. And then it's saying after that we need to put the oil pan back on. So you can see sitting over there, it still needs to be cleaned. So that's going to take me a little bit. But we're getting there. Okay. Well, next thing we're going to do is put the oil pan on. I went ahead and cut 4 bolts, you see right here, to make them like studs, so that way I can line it up with these. The gasket won't move. When I go to put it down, it'll be in the right location, right here. So first thing I'm going to do is put some gasket sealer underneath on the engine itself, on the bottom of the gasket, and then we'll do the other side, and I'll do the ends, and then I'll put a coating on top of the gasket, and then we'll set the oil pan down. Well, we got the oil pan on. That finishes up the bottom end. Went pretty easy, especially using them, making little dowel pins. You know, if we put 4 dowel pins, it holds the gasket there. And when you do it by yourself, you can align the pan up with the dowel pins and then just set it straight down. You don't have to worry about these gaskets here falling off or moving or nothing. So it makes it kind of easy. Well, according to my book, the next step is to put the head on. And the book suggests that I put the engine back in the vehicle and finish assembling the engine in the vehicle, which I would imagine in either a pickup or a 1950-something car would have been a little difficult. But for me, it's very simple because the motor sticks out. There's no fenders, no grill. nothing in my way. I can just as easily work on it in the car as I could work on it in the stand. The only thing is, if I put the head on now, it makes it very difficult to pick up the engine. There's not a real good place to balance it. Every time I've moved it since I've had it, I've had to just sling straps around it, kind of like sling it. If I do it right now, I could easily use the head bolts holes to pick up with, and then I could put it over here on my, what would I do? Oh, I'd have to, I got the adapter plate sitting up there and the flex plate, torque converter. I could put the transmission on it and then just put the whole thing in one piece and then finish putting the head on it while it's in the car and, continue on from there. So I need to think about it. It sounds like a good idea. I just got to make sure I keep the motor covered to keep junk out of it while the head is off. Plus the fact that I haven't cleaned the head yet. It's still sitting here. It needs to be cleaned up. Well, it was getting late last night. I got the engine off the stand, and I thought while I had it here, before I moved it over there to hook it up to the transmission, I wanted to try this adapter plate. If you've been following along, about 6 months ago, I bought this kit off of eBay, actually, and it had this adapter plate you see right here, and it's made to adapt. Let me show you here. It's made to adapt this 6-cylinder to a 350 or a, what do you call it, Power Glide transmission, an adapter plate. So it came with this plate, came with the flex plate, and it came with a starter. But if you've been watching my videos, about 6 months ago when I bought it, I tried to put it on here and it didn't fit. And I had to actually machine out a little bit more right here to get it to fit up against there. So I did get it to fit. The flex plate fits. Now I haven't tried it with the starter to make sure everything's going to line up yet. And my friend Anton Morgan at Lightning Quick Glides, who built my transmission for me, he gave me this stock torque converter. So I wanted to try it to make sure that the pilot on the other side would fit in here so I wouldn't have no trouble with that. So first thing we're going to do this morning, like I said, is I'll put this flex plate on, we'll put the adapter plate on, and I'll test the torque converter. We're going to try to go ahead and put it on today. It's got dowel pins here to line it up. Well, I got the adapter plate, flex plates on. I just tried the starter. It fit. It engaged about 3/4 of the way out in the teeth. I guess that'd be good enough for that. I did have a little problem with this torque converter. I don't know if it was just nicked up or whatever around here, or rust and dirt in here in the old crank. But anyway, I took a die grinder and cleaned this up in here, and polished it up around there a little bit. Now it fits in real good. So next thing I got to do is put the torque converter into the transmission. And got the engine over here. I'm going to try to leave the transmission on this dolly here where I can move it around. You can see there I put the torque converter in already. That just slides in. You got to twist it a little bit, get the splines, and you can feel it. I had to put the yoke in the back to turn the shaft inside, and when it clicked, it slid all the way back. So let me set up the camera, and we'll try to get these two bolted together. And I need to... Well, I finally got it back together. I had one little issue. The torque converter, where it's got the hub on it, it goes into the crank. I had mentioned earlier it was real tight, and I took a grinder and ground it a little bit, opened it up, and when I was pulling the converter, the transmission forward, it kind of got in a bind. I kept feeling under there, and you couldn't spin the converter, so I loosened it up, pulled the housing back a little bit, and then slid the converter forward into the hole on the crank, and then retightened it, and everything went together okay. While I got it here, I wanted to show you real quick. The next thing I got to do, get down here, is bolt up this torque converter. They say, you can see right here, between the flex plate and here, they say you need about 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch of travel. So if you watch here, I can pull it back and I push it, right? You see now, there's a hole right here in the flex plate. It's got 3 bolts, so I have to put this one in, then turn the motor and get the other 3 put in. But that's between 3/16 and 1/8 of an inch right there. So I think I'm just gonna bolt it without washers. Normally, if you had too much play right there, you'd put washers under here to take some of the play out. But that there is not too bad. So let me get the bolts, and I'll go ahead and bolt the torque converter to the flex plate. And I think the only other thing I got left to do is I'm going to put the motor mounts on it, and probably can set it in the car. Well, it's been a busy week. I got a lot done. I was going to try to stay late. It's Sunday night, and I was going to try to stay a little late and see if I can get the engine back in the car tonight. But I'm missing lock nuts, two grade 8 hex lock nuts that I'm using to bolt the, you can see right here, to bolt the torque converter to the flex plate. So they're not open today, so I'll have to go tomorrow sometime, pick up the bolts for that. Other than that, it was doing good. I went ahead and you can see here, put the motor mounts back on it. So, well, like I said, I don't have the nuts to finish it. I'm going to put it while it's up here so I don't have to get down underneath and do it. We'll cut this one a little short, and I appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comments, questions, suggestions, always welcome. And hopefully we'll see you in the next week's video. We'll definitely get the engine put in. Thanks again for watching.